Greetings, everyone. DFG here. Hey, I had to make sure the clock was working. Hey, I'm going to keep this video short. I know I always say that, but anyway, I'm going to keep this video short. Um, have any of you all been following the stock market? If you have, then you would have noticed that just this week alone, the stock market is down 1,400 points. Now, for investors, you're going to know what I mean when I say a bull market, and you're going to know what I mean when I say a bear market. A bull market is pretty much when it's strong. A bear market is pretty much like a bear in hibernation. It's not very good. It's very unproductive. I bring this to your attention because if you remember, I told you guys a while back, get your money out of the stock market. I asked you to. I shared with you, get your money out of the stock market. Now, this was way back in the summertime. If you listened, and if you did not have any money in the market, but you passed that information on to loved ones, as I suggested, then they would have saved themselves a lot of unnecessary financial loss. There are people now who would have lost. I was talking to somebody earlier today. Had they not taken my advice and taken their money out of the market over the last 2 months, they would have lost about $40,000. Of course, they didn't lose the money because they took their money out of the market and now they have their money in cash. Earlier today, just reading up on some information, one of the best economists in the world, I'm not going to give you his name, but if you want to look this information up, you can find it out. Again, you have not because you ask not. Or if you're lazy-minded, you don't want to do your own work, you don't want to research, you don't want to look things up, then you're going to fall victim to whatever scheme, whatever conniveness, whatever skullduggery that's out there to take your money. Like a guy told me a long time ago, if you don't know how to protect your money, don't come whining to me about somebody else taking it because, quite frankly, I want your money too. And that was advice that someone was giving to me as a younger man because I was complaining about being taken advantage of financially. He said, Dale, everybody wants your money, including me. And if you don't want people to take it, you better learn how to protect it. Never forgot that advice. That's almost 2 decades ago. I'm saying it to you, as I shared with you. But if you left your money there, you left your pension money there, if you could have, some people can get early pensions, early retirement money. You left your 401k out there. Go back and look at it. If you haven't looked at it in the last 2 or 3 months, you're going to be very, very disappointed in what you're going to see. And here's more what I'm going to tell you. It's going to get a whole lot worse. So I'll say it to you again. Whatever you have left, if you didn't respond already, shame on you. You deserve what you got. Just going to be honest with you. You deserve what you got. I shared it with you. I would not have said it if I had not had strong data. And I like to believe insight and wisdom from above to share that information. But, you know how you people are. That old saying, prophet is without honor in his own home, because it's not somebody maybe who looks different from me that tells you that, you just blow it off like, oh, he's just talking. I don't have time just to be talking. I'm talking because I have a purpose, I have a mission, and I care. Now, here's something else I'm going to tell you. Different from the financial market. I don't know if you guys know what a EMP is. Electronic magnetic pulse. EMP. There's a document, government document, an official government document saying that every American needs to be prepared to be without food, without water, without supplies for up to 6 months in case the electric grid is attacked in America. Now, this warning is all over the place. Most of you guys, I guarantee you don't know anything about what I'm talking about. And not only do you not know what I'm talking about, you refuse to believe it, and you definitely refuse to share it. But when it happens, and it will, you're going to get caught totally unprepared. Right now, I'll ask you a question. How many of you guys right now have enough water to last beyond 4 days in your home? How many of you? Well, let me let you know something. If the grid was to go down, you're not going to be able to get running water. You're not going to have transportation because your automobiles are not going to start up. You're not going to be able to get the food because I can assure you the military will have commandeered all of those places where food is. And wherever they can salvage food, I can assure you they're going to be with guns and all kind of weapons protecting that. So you're not going to have access to it. So if you don't have more than 3 days of water, guess what's going to happen if you can't access water? And I'm going to say that to you in love. You're going to die. Your children are going to die. The people that you love are going to die. Your body can't go without 3 days your body can't go 3 days without water. You can go a little longer without food, but it can't go without water. So do you have water in your home stored away in case of an emergency? And I know most of you guys, you take that, and I don't mean this the wrong way. I'm just being honest with you. You have this mentality, this crying wolf mentality. You wait for somebody to say something or something really bad happens. Then all of a sudden, you react. It's like down south where I'm from, at hurricane season, nobody does anything to prepare for a hurricane until the hurricane is announced. And then when the hurricane is within days, everybody run to the stores and they grab everything and grab it, all and store it in their homes. Something, if a grid is destroyed in this country, it could be as many as 75 million people who will be impacted. And you're not going to it's not like a hurricane where they're going to tell you 3 or 4 days ahead of time to prepare. This is something that would happen instantaneously without any warning. The only warning you're going to get is when things go dark. So you can't put yourself and your family, the people that you love, at risk by saying, I'm going to wait for somebody to tell me. And for you all who live in these major metro cities, major metro markets, guys, it is going to be, I hope you have an exit plan to get out of those places. Because it is going to be chaos. I'm talking about serious chaos. I heard somebody using the other day the example. I've never watched this series, but I guess it's called The Walking Dead. And they talked about, I guess The Walking Dead, I'm assuming that based on what I heard, that these zombies going around and they attack people and eat people and do these kind of things. It's going to be like that in some of these major cities. And no, I'm not using scare tactics. Let me ask you a question. I'll give you an example. Black Friday. You ever heard about these stampedes that go on in Black Friday? When everybody's running trying to get product? Now, if people don't have self-discipline in a situation like a Black Friday, what do you think is going to happen if people start starving, don't have water, don't have food, don't have supplies? You really think they're going to leave you alone if you do have food and supplies? You really think that they're just going to say, oh, well, let's starve to death. The neighbor next door, they got everything that we need to survive, but, because they're prepared and we didn't prepare, so, therefore, we got to take our medicine? No, I think not. They're going to be kicking in doors, breaking in homes, and every kind of thing else you can imagine without me having to say these things. When I say everything you can imagine, I mean everything that you can imagine is going to be happening in these streets, in these major cities. And for the most part, unless you're truly prepared, fully prepared, and in this preparation, another thing I want to mention to you too. Last time I did something like this, I got in trouble because people say you shouldn't do that, but you need to always be ready. I'm just doing it like that, okay? You need to always be ready. So you need to be ready from a weapon preparedness as well. And don't let anybody scare you with this silliness about guns, kill people, and all that. Look, guys, people use weapons to protect themselves. People use weapons to feed themselves. Only criminals use weapons to harm other people. Oh, I'm sorry. In the United States military. And some police. So what am I saying to you? It's a national document out there saying that Americans need to be ready for an EMP attack. Google it up. And it's saying that we are not, as a nation, ready for that to happen. And I know a lot of you guys with that, Why can't we just all get along in this lovey-dovey and let peace reign on earth mentality? You're going to be the first ones that's going to be running out here screaming and hollering and losing your mind because you can't protect the people that you love. You don't have the means to protect yourself. So there's a time, there's a particular verse. There's a guy who said, when I was a child, I thought like a child, but when I became a man, I put away my childish thoughts. Thinking that everything is going to be hunky-dory, and just because you want it to be hunky-dory, you're thinking that everything's going to be peaceful just because that's what you want to believe, because you've created this illusion in your mind when you can look at the world and you don't see no peace in the world. That's a luxury that Americans have, this peace. But if you were living in Asia and South America, Venezuela, for example, you would understand that the world is a little bit more complicated than you sitting, at home in front of your fireplace with your hot chocolate, singing Christmas carols. But if nobody else is going to tell you, I love you enough to tell you. Do what you want to do. Like Joshua said, you guys go whatever way you want to go, but as far as me and my house, we're going to be prepared. And if you're wise, just like I told you about the financial market, you follow me? And that it is going to crash. And if you got money in that market, you're going to lose it. You can believe that. I'm telling you now, if you're not prepared from a survival perspective, you don't have a place of exit from a survival perspective. Where are you going to go? If you're in the big cities, how are you going to get out of the cities if your cars cannot work? I heard somebody say, well, maybe you ought to have a bicycle. Bicycle, it sounds practical. But if you're on a bicycle and I need that transportation and I see you on that bicycle, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take your bicycle by any means necessary. I'm going to take your bicycle. There's no way I'm going to let you ride by me and I need transportation and you're on a bike. So I'm telling you, that's not going to work either. All right? And I use me in the first person sense that just so you understand, in desperate times, people do desperate things. And I'm quite certain if my survival was on the line, I'm not going to walk away from doing whatever I got to do to survive. Nor would you. Because you're not going to be in your right mind. You're not going to be in your civil mind in an uncivil environment. So get food, get water, get ammunition, get protection. Get with groups of people that you can work with, that you can trust and have a plan. People that can help defend the things that you have, because you're going to have to defend those things. If you want a better example of what I'm talking about, there's a movie called The Book of Eli. Denzel Washington is the main character. Just go Google the movie up, The Book of Eli. And that movie is a real good example of what it's going to be like for a lot of you, women out here going it alone. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you men out here who don't have a plan, no strategy to protect your family or loved ones. Go watch that movie. That movie will really give you a good vision of it. Of course, you can, take it from me and others like me who are just warning you, sounding the alarm so you know. And you won't be caught by surprise. Some of you will listen. Most of you won't. Some of you will call me a simp. Some of you will say I'm using scare tactics. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. But when that time comes, I suspect, you'll be regretting not heeding the advice. Okay, and I can give you more information with this. This is, I'll leave the spiritual aspect out of it, but those who are believers, they know this is already prophesied to happen, what's going on right now, or what's to come. They already know that. And it tells them to be you ready. For at such a time you think not, it happens. When they cry peace and safety, sudden destruction cometh. Now, if you're a believer, you should know who said that. If you really are a believer. And if, just for the record, that's Yeshua's word. That's not my words. You call him Jesus. That's what he said you should be. So I'll end this video. Are you ready?